Hey, this is Mike, aka Cade Cronin, aka Silas Styles. First of all, you have to excuse the scruffiness. It's been the last week has been hard for me. I was kept overnight in the hospital a few days ago. High blood pressure, apparently. So I'm supposed to just take it easy, not do anything too stressful. And those of you who know me know that I have 2 kids, so that's not exactly an easy thing to do, especially when they like getting into everything and doing everything they're not supposed to, but hey, they're kids, right? Anyways, that's not the point of this video. Posting this video in response to Mike the Mauler Dwinnell's video about nRw closing and Slam-a-Rama being our final show. Well, I'll start from the beginning. As Mike said, Rebel Taylor was the owner of UGW, Underground Wrestling. He ran it successfully for quite a number of years, and it got to a point where in his life he decided he needed to change and he was going to move to Nova Scotia, and he was going to try to start UGW there. And me and Mike and a few other people decided it was probably best that we don't continue with the UGW name, not out of disrespect, not trying to distance ourselves from Rebel and our former company, but out of respect, and like Mike said, to give us a fresh start. Basically to start over, create something new, something that people could get behind without the stigma of UGW overwhelming people's opinions, because a lot of people were quick to judge UGW without even seeing a single second of what we did or what we could do. They just thought, hey, there's a bunch of guys who didn't go out and we didn't get trained, we didn't go to a wrestling school, we didn't go to the gym 24/7, we didn't care about being suntan Supermans. We were passionate about wrestling. We learned what we could by practice, over and over and over and over and over and over. It's not like we never learned how to hit the ropes. We ran the ropes, properly. We learned how to take our bumps. It's not like none of us went to a wrestling school. A couple of us back in the very beginning, before UGW was even UGW, when it was HCW, Hardcore Championship Wrestling here in Midland, it was Rebel's first stint with running a promotion, and he ran that successfully. Who worked for HCW? Who remained contacts of ours from HCW to UGW, even into nRw? We had Tyson Dukes, we had El Tornado, Eric Young, Angelina Love from TNA, whatever, Gail Kim. Her last match before she even went to the WWE the first time was in HCW. It was here in Midland, and unfortunately she got injured. Who was she wrestling at the time? Tracy Brooks. If you're a wrestling fan, you know who Tracy Brooks is. There was a guy named Sin. Most people know him as Kazarni from his stint on SmackDown. There's a lot of people, a lot of high-profile people worked with us. Maybe not directly teaching us anything, but Me, Rebel, Cliff, and our friend Kevin, we went and we learned from Tyson Dukes. We learned from Chris Thorne. We learned from Tornado. And a guy that was doing a tag team called Canadian Extreme with Chris Thorne at the time. CK, I believe at the time it was CK Sex. I believe now he's going. I think his real name is CK Lewis. I don't know. I don't keep up with the guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook. We don't talk. Sometimes we'll exchange comments back and forth on wrestling related topics and posts. But anyways, me and Rebel and Cliff and Kevin, we went down and we spent hours upon hours upon hours. And, we kept going back. We learned everything we could in as much time as we could for the small amount of money that we had. Because let's face it, for those of you who don't know, we live in Midland, and there's about 16,500 people that live in this town. Maybe I'll generalize the population of this area of Midland and the surrounding towns, probably about 30,000 people. Now, when it comes to jobs here, we used to be an industrial area, a lot of factories. There used to be a lot of jobs, but not so much anymore, and it's been that way for well over 10 years, probably closer to 15, maybe even 20 years. As far back as I can remember, when I was out trying to find work, there wasn't very many opportunities. You had to have your grade 12. You had to have a diploma. And there was a lot of things, so here comes my daughter crying, so you have to excuse me for a second here. What's wrong, Lexi? Ethan bit you? Well, you tell him not to bite you. You tell him to come here. You guys don't play rough like that. Full-time job here, kids. Another reason why I couldn't afford to go to a wrestling school. I had better things to spend my money on. Well, just play nice and just don't get too wound up. Play nice. Wave to the camera. Can you say hi? No? Okay. Okay, go outside and play. Daddy's trying to do a video quick.
I couldn't see.
What's
on the computer?
I'm on the computer making a video to put on Facebook so people can see I'm talking about wrestling. You like wrestling? No. Why? Because you don't. Okay, go play. Yeah. So anyways, before I was interrupted momentarily, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of jobs, so we all couldn't afford to go to wrestling school. And of all of us, we had a group of guys that we did the forbidden thing. We have a backyard wrestling. Oh, because nobody in backyard wrestling can make it to the big time. Mostly everybody who's made a name for themselves now has at one time or another done backyard wrestling. And if they tell you they haven't, they're lying to you. Believe me, it's a lot of people. But yeah, not all of us could afford to go to a wrestling school, so we paid and we did. Like, it's no different than a wrestling clinic where you have your big name person who shows up out of town when they're going to be doing a show there, and they hold a clinic, and in a couple hours you pay your money and you learn as much as you can in the small amount of time as you can. Only we spent a whole day there, where I think we were there from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. So it was almost a 12-hour day, just wrestling, bumps, running the ropes, executing the moves, learning your, where you are in the ring, having a ring presence, just knowing your positions, hitting your move where they're going to be, leading into your next move, so you're not scattered all over the ring, trying to hip toss a guy and he's like almost hitting the turnbuckles. Like, that's stupid. Whatever. Indie guys will use that as a high spot of their match, because indie wrestlers, well, I can't say all indie wrestlers, but a lot of the indie wrestling is all high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot, false finish, high spot, false finish, false finish, false finish, high spot. It's basically gymnastics. You go to the local gymnastics club and see the exact same flips and everything, and that's not my style. A lot of people can use that style to their advantage. They're small, they're agile, they can flip around, do all the little twists, and it's entertaining. It's got its spot in wrestling. I'm not going to take nothing away from them. I'm more of a technical wrestler. Submission holds, just the technical, lots of suplexes, lots of slams. But I like my stuff chain together, chain wrestling. One move leading into the next, not exactly planning out spots. I don't really like planning out spots before a match unless it's something climatic, like it's supposed to be the one part of the match that's really supposed to grab your attention and grip you and keep you interested and make you go, oh my god, they did that, oh, I can't believe it. And it makes you go home and you tell people, like, oh, I went to this show and you wouldn't believe what they did this and then this happened and it was amazing. And that's the kind of stuff you want your fans to go home and say to their family, to their friends, to people they don't even know that they see that are interested in wrestling. And that's what nRw, that's what UGW, that's what HCW, VCW, every carnation or incarnation of wrestling we've had here has been all about that. Creating entertainment, creating something for people to latch onto and get behind. And like Mike said, we were creating opportunities for people who were told that they couldn't do it. Oh, you're not tan enough. You don't spend all your time in a gym. You didn't go to a wrestling school. You don't know what you're doing. You are not capable and you will never make it in this business. Well, we're not in it for the money. So to us, well, I should speak for myself, really. I don't believe I'm in this business. I'm in this passion for the entertainment, for my own enjoyment, for the fans' enjoyments, for the people who enjoy wrestling, who come to the shows and just want to escape their daily lives, whether it's stressful, whether they had a bad day, whether they just need 2-3 hours away from their home, from their outside life, to just sit back and be captivated and entertained and led down a path and told a story and all its little paths until it leads to a climax, a climatic ending, the ending of a show, just to make them appreciate what we do. And a lot of people appreciate what we do and what we've done. Just too many people, too many naysayers, too many people who want to take on the whole bully persona and tell us, you're no good, you can't do this, you can't do that, you'll never make it, you don't draw. We've had a couple rough years where interest in us went from being close to 200 people showing up for our shows for fundraisers and everything. It dropped down to like 75, and then it dropped down to 50, and then 30. And we've had shows where we've had 6 people show up. And that one show, we had 6 people show up. We had an opportunity to show people that we can do this, and we're capable of giving you the exact same entertainment, the exact same quality entertainment and wrestling as any other fed in Ontario, in Canada, in the world. It's not like we're running around and falling all over the place, not knowing what we're doing. We're not finely polished, but hey, who is? We're passionate about what we do, and we take pride in what we do and what we've done and what we've accomplished. Like Mike said, look at D-Man. He started off as a skinny little toothpick kid who worked security for us, and he helped set up the rings, and he was learning at a slow pace, and he was learning with Rebel Taylor, and Rebel was teaching him a lot of things, but it wasn't just him, it was a couple people all at the same time, and Dan just happened to be the one who thrived, who succeeded, and he took what he learned from Rebel, and I'd like to take some credit. I helped train, teach, show him some stuff that I knew. I'd like to take some credit in his success too, but his success is based on what he's done and what he's learned and what he's accomplished, not from who taught him anything. And now, Ethan. Go play, Ethan.
Alright.
Because I'm making a video. I'm talking about wrestling. I'm only going to be a couple minutes.
Where are you going?
You be nice to Lexi.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. nRw's not going anywhere. It's not like we're all gonna do this last show and then never talk to each other. Not like we're all moving away. Like Mike said, some of us have goals that we wish to accomplish outside of nRw. It's not about the money. It's about people wanting to do other things with their lives, and you have to respect it. And like I was saying with Dan, he took the ball that we gave him and he's run with it, and he's working all over Ontario, and he's done tours. He's gone out east, he's gone out west, he's making a name for himself, and I'm proud. He's one of our originals, he's one of our boys, and as bad as some people think he is, he's not all that bad. Hi, Lexi. You gonna wave? Wave. Okay. Go play with Ethan. Go play with Ethan so I can finish my video. You're sidetracking me.
What?
Go play. Go outside and play, guys.
I can't. You are going there.
We're not going anywhere.
What?
We might go to the park after.
Yay! Here?
The park.
Grandpa's house.
Maybe, yeah. But go outside and play. Let Daddy finish his video.
Now we can go just right here and eat lunch.
Yep.
A snack?
You can have a snack after.
There's no.
Go outside and play. It's not even, well, it's almost time for a snack. I'll get you when I'm done my video, and we can have a snack.
I like.
And juice. Okay?
Just done outside. I'm done outside too.
You gonna play in the bedroom, or are you gonna play downstairs?
I want to play upstairs.
We'll go play in Ethan's room, or in Lexi's room.
I just got this.
I just want to finish my video.
I'll put the screen glass outside.
Sure.
Why do you have the hat on?
I put my hat on because I have messy hair. And I don't want people to see my messy hair.
Why?
Or what's left of it. Because.
What?
Need a wave?
He said it's a fire joke, but...
Okay, go away.
Okay. I did have a snack.
You're gonna have a snack soon once I'm done the
did.
video. Okay, whatever. Go play, please. Let's get this back on track before I lose my train of thought, which I pretty much that train's been derailed. Slam-a-Rama, September 20th. The date's now been changed to. Could very well be the very last nRw show. Could be the last wrestling show, period. And that makes me sad. I didn't want to end my wrestling career like this. I've had family and Jen bug me to quit and stop wrestling for the last 6 years, and I kept saying, "Oh, when I turn 30, then I'll stop. Oh, when Ethan's born, I'll stop. Oh, when Lexi was born, I'll stop. Oh, when I get a job, I'll stop." Well, I've had plenty of jobs. They just don't pan out or last very long because it's mostly temporary work because Midland sucks for jobs right now. Anyways, yeah, Slam-a-Rama, Wybridge, September 20th, 7 o'clock, nighttime show. That's super great. It's a charity show now for some child abuse foundation. Couldn't be happier. As you can see, I'm behind stopping child abuse in all forms of the definition: physical, mental, emotional, sexual. Abuse is abuse, and I don't agree with it. I don't like abuse. I don't like bullying. I don't like kids getting hurt, period. I don't know who I'm competing against. I've had a few people toss out some challenges. I've had a few fans ask for certain matches. If we stick to what was supposed to happen, by defeating the Mauler at Uprising, I was supposed to get an nRw title shot against Kid X, which would be a rematch for me. I faced him earlier, I believe it was earlier in the year, maybe the tail end of 2013. But the Mauler got involved in that, and he cost me the match. And I got my revenge, so I'm supposed to get my title shot. So if Kid X wants to dodge that title shot and try to have what was it he asked for, a Full Metal Mayhem match, isn't that a TNA concept, TLC match, whatever you want to call it. If he wants to wrestle Paulie and Bruce, that's up to him, but I feel I'm rightfully owed that title shot, because who better to go out as nRw champion than the man who created nRw. I came up with the name. I might not financially have created it or sustained it. I've put some money into it. not as much as Mike, nowhere near as much money as Mike, but I've helped run things. I was supposed to be the booker, but too many people want to have their way, too many chefs in the kitchen. Everybody wanted their specific matches, and when I did try to book things my way, put my idea of matches together, nobody wanted to run with it. Nobody wanted to stick with storylines. They didn't want to do anything that's supposed to be in a show, have any ongoing storylines. So we kind of ended my reign as the booker, and I just became the go-between. People outside of nRw, UGW, they wanted in, they talked to me, they came to me. I basically picked and chose who got to these shows, who made it, who didn't make it. And a lot of people, they didn't want to send me any matches or anything. They just wanted to say, hey, I'm a wrestler. Can I wrestle on your shows? And I had to look at who we had wrestling, who was on our roster, what matches we were supposed to have on the next shows. And I had to see if there was any room for someone to have an opportunity to prove themselves and become part of our family. And a lot of people did. Jace Hart, tremendous guy. So much respect for him, it's not even funny. I consider him like a brother. Mass Marvel, he's very opinionated, but his opinions are backed with facts, and it's not like he doesn't know what he's talking about. We might not agree on every little thing, but what we don't agree on, not a big deal. It's not a situation where, oh, you don't agree with me, I hate you kind of thing. Everyone has their opinions, and you know, you have to respect that, and I respect him. Let's see, we had Wildman. He came in, and everybody loved him right from the get-go. It's too bad we couldn't get him more often. Who else? Oh, our very first Rec Center show, we had two guys who wanted on the show, and the guy who approached me and wanted on the show so bad, Achilles, turned out to be a total jerkwad. I don't even know if he wrestled after doing our show. I never heard of him wrestling after that show. The guy he wrestled, he's a big name now. Wrestles for Death Proof. He's wrestled for IWA Mid-South, I believe. I think he was in a King of the Death match. He's doing a lot of hardcore stuff, and that's his niche. That's where he fits in. That's what he's good at, and he is killing it. And I am damn proud to say that I knew him before all of this success. I believe I actually worked him at our second show at the Rec Center. Yes, I did. Tremendous guy. He's got huge potential, and if he can stick to what he's good at and just keep doing what he's doing, he's going to be a huge deal in hardcore, extreme, ultra-violent death matches, whatever you want to call it. He's good at what he does, and he's living it. He's living the dream. He's going all over now. Who else did we have? Will Hunter. He trained in the Heart Dungeon. I haven't seen or heard from him lately. I think the last time I had any contact with him was about 4 years ago. Who else? Quan Chang. He's worked with us. He's offered to do some seminars with us. Wow, this is already half an hour. Wow. I haven't even hit on what I wanted to hit on. Ah, jeez. I'm going to have to do a follow-up video. So many people came through HCW, UGW, nRw. Some of us are going on and we're going to be wrestling other places. Some of us are hanging up the boots and never wrestling again. Some of us are just going to take a break and accomplish some other things and maybe come back and do some more. A lot of talk about our closing and why we're closing. People don't want to believe that we're closing and we're going to stay closed, and I'll be honest with you, I don't believe we're going to stay closed. But if we do, we do. It wouldn't bother me if nRw shut down and stayed shut down. But I'm open to working for other companies. As you can see, I'm very passionate about what I do. I take great pride in what I've done. I'm not as quick as I was before. Some people say I wasn't quick at all, that I'm a very slow worker. It's because I'm methodical. I like to think my moves ahead. I don't think, okay, I'm going to hit this and then go, oh, what am I going to do? I hit this move knowing I'm going to do this right after, and I plan my attack. I take each match in stride, and each match is a challenge. Each opponent I have is a challenge, and I like to adapt to who I work. Like Cliff Story. He's a very entertaining worker, and I believe that I am an entertaining worker as well. If none of you have seen any of my tag matches with Kyle Cynic, Supervillains, I do believe the Supervillains had a large part of what UGW was, and what brought people to UGW, and what brought people to nRw. I'm damn proud of my tag team days. I'm damn proud of being a supervillain. From when it was me and Cynic and Clown, Derek. I miss having that third person. I miss those days where we were just having fun and we didn't care. And if you told us we were crap, that we didn't know what we were doing, that we didn't belong in wrestling, well, we didn't give a flying, we didn't care. You could take your opinions and you could shove them when the sun don't shine. We didn't care. We don't care about people's opinions, but our own and the fans. If you come to our show and you watch our show and you don't like the show and you say, you guys are crap, you don't belong in wrestling, you guys suck, we value that opinion. Because you watched us and you didn't like it, alright, your opinion's valid. But for those of you who have never come to a show, never seen it from start to end, who haven't been there and spoke with us, hung out with us, we interact with the fans. You see us on the street, I will stand and I will talk to you for an hour, 2 hours. If I have the time, I will stand and talk to you until you get tired of listening to me answer your questions and talk about wrestling. I don't care. Wrestling is my life. Wrestling is my passion. I'm just sad to stop wrestling. And if I had my way, Slam-a-Rama, curtain call. If I had one last match, I would want me and Cynic, supervillains, one last time against either the Deadly Poisons or Cliff Story and Travis LePage. That to me would be a fine end of a career to work my two favorite people to work. Cliff, because you can do anything with him and you are entertaining the fans from start to finish. There is no dull moments, not even a dull second when you're in the ring with Cliff or sitting across the ring from Cliff. And Travis always brings out the best in who he wrestles, and I believe I bring out the best in who I wrestle. And UGW days, me versus Travis, that was one match you could count on that was going to give you your money's worth, and you were going to go home and you were going to talk about that match, and you were looking forward to the next time you got to see that match. So my greatest rival, Cliff Story, who it took him 10 years to finally beat me, and Travis, all the rage LePage. I couldn't ask for two better opponents, and I couldn't ask for a better partner to face them. So if I don't get my title shot and my chance to go out as the final champion, I at least want to go out my head held high, my dignity intact, and knowing that I gave each and every one of you the best match possible, and that you were thoroughly entertained like nobody else can do for you. I'm Kate Cronin, Silo Styles, Mike Moken, and I hope to see you all in Wybridge, September 20th, 7 o'clock. Come before, come at 2 o'clock, come at 3 o'clock. If we're there and setting up the ring, you can come and you can talk to us. Just come to the show and support us, and give yourself a night away from the everyday life, the everyday struggle, and just come and be entertained, and come be part of our family for one last night. I'll see you all when I see you.